Everybody, guess what? It's Sunday afternoon. We don't usually get to talk to you guys on Sunday, but this is a special occasion. I've got Cassandra Coleman with me. There's no American Idol tonight, so it's like our own little American Idol show this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
How's it going, Cassandra?
It's going wonderfully. We got the weekend off. This is like the most off time we've had in a long time. So got to hang out with Hunter this morning, and we went shopping at some like thrifting. It's like a farmer's market, flea market thing. And yeah, and then I'm going to go to church services this evening with some friends. So it's been a good Sunday.
Wow, that's so amazing. I'm glad that you guys are getting time off. Melinda Doolittle and I have been doing American Idol little chats during the week for the last few weeks. Earlier last week, I was able to talk to Hunter. Melinda was on here. She wasn't able to join me today, but she wanted me to send you a message. I wrote it down. Okay. She says, I love her. This is Melinda saying, and I think she's amazing. So I think there's a lot of love going around, and people really have taken to your journey so far throughout American Idol. It's incredible.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't expecting, I guess, so many people to. I knew that what I struggle with is what a lot of people struggle with. But, prior to going into the show, when we were having our preliminary auditions, I had even said, like, guys, I don't have like a sob story, I was like, I don't feel like my life is interesting enough for me to make it on the show, because I thought I've had a wonderful upbringing, great family. I live in an awesome community. I almost felt like I didn't deserve to be on it. But I guess just organically, when I would tell them why I'd never pursued music prior to this, when it came up, just like how crippling my anxieties are, I guess a lot of people resonated with that. And it just, I don't know, hopefully it makes people feel like they can be capable of doing the same thing, because I'm just an average Joe, just like them. And yeah, I think I really liked how Lionel said, like, that your life begins, I'm paraphrasing, but your life begins when you start doing things that make you feel uncomfortable and you leave your comfort zone. And truly my life has, like, it is flipped upside down. And I've been like smiling so much recently, because I'm just like, this is my reality right now. Like, what's going on?
It's incredible. I mean, top 10. I have to say, out of everybody I've watched, I mean, out of the class of 10, so to speak, so far, I feel like you've made the biggest transformation. I mean, is it really true that you've never performed like shows until now?
I mean, I had sang like backup harmonies for a friend 2 times. And both times, at one point in the show, he let me sing one song. And actually it was Wicked Game. Because that was the only one that he knew and I knew. So, I mean, I have sung in front of a crowd before, but it's not something that I'm used to. Like, and even then, it took him like forever to get me to even go do harmonies with him, because I would get terrified to even be in the background. So yeah, this is all very new for me. I kind of feel like what people are seeing is, oftentimes I've been embarrassed because they're seeing my growth process, when, like, my voice, that's not like what the problem isn't really my voice. It's my nerves that are affecting my voice and getting used to performing. And so it's been really interesting and embarrassing that people are seeing me like in my baby stages, as I'm essentially like fumbling around and trying to learn how to walk and how to be a performer. But let me tell you, this was definitely like a crash course for dummies. So I'm figuring it out fast.
But I think that's one of the things that makes you so relatable, because I think so many times when you see artists, you don't necessarily see them in those beginning stages and those times where they fumble and you hear the nervousness in their voice. But we're getting to see that and see you work through it. And I mean, I just love the whole process of seeing that.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys have enjoyed it. And I'm glad that so many people have been able to relate, because to me, like, that is the most important part, is that I love music, because I love that it's this emotional, it's like a spiritual realm that opens up when you're listening to music, and you're just on this other level. And, it's the same globally. Music is just really powerful. And the fact that, I have people reaching out to me from all over the world saying that either they, resonate with my story, or somehow they like my voice. And I'm just like, wow, this is so amazing, and it's hard to like come to terms with it and just to grasp it all.
Yeah. A couple other questions Melinda sent me. She wanted me to make sure I asked you, so I'm going to ask those before I forget. She wants to know, are you feeling more at home on stage? Kind of like what we've been talking about. Does it feel more comfortable
I
Yes.
mean, more than when I began. I mean, even still, most, artists that I look at have performed like hundreds and thousands of times on stages. So, I'm only on like, I think, performance number 8. So it's more than when I started, but it's still not like I'm up there and I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm still getting used to it.
Yes, I totally understandable. I think even if you were a seasoned performer, I would think just the whole pressure and all of this would be difficult.
It
But
is. It is.
okay, what's been the biggest learning curve in this whole process of American Idol?
I would have to say it's shifting my mentality. Changing my mindset from being one that has always been very negative towards myself, especially with music, to challenging myself to be positive and to speak my path, sort of thing. Like, to instead say, you are going to do a good job on the stage, you are going to put on a good performance. And because this is like, I have totally tried to shift the way that I think about myself. And I think that that is going to, it's already setting me on a whole nother course for my life, because now I'm challenging myself to think about that with everything. Like, hey, you can be maybe a successful business owner in the future. You can travel the world. You can do those things that scare you. And so now I'm just challenging myself to anything that in the past I thought I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Instead
Yeah.
of living vicariously through other people, challenge yourself to do it instead.
Yeah, wow, that's a great perspective on all of this. I mean, you could just look at the music and you could just be looking like at it as, I got to get this to the next level. But I think that says a lot that you're looking at all aspects of your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Melinda had one more question. What has been your favorite or least favorite part of this experience so far?
Having cameras on me constantly. Like, I'm always the person who's behind the camera taking pictures of other people. And I mean, everybody who knows me knows I'm that person that someone pulls out a camera and I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to be in that. And so all of a sudden I there's no other option. I have to get comfortable with it. And that's probably been the hardest part, where like 12 people are looking at you and asking you a question and they're like, dance around. I'm like, this is terrible. So yeah, getting used to the cameras for sure.
Well, talking about pictures, I've been following you on social media. You've been taking pictures. This is funny. I think this is a couple of days ago. You took some pictures of your fellow contestants. Everybody was sleeping, so everybody must have been tired that day. Tell us about what was happening there.
Well, that was actually kind of spread out through the weeks. So somebody had posted a photo of Chase asleep in the hotel, Chase Beckham, or not in the hotels, in the airport. And I thought, I've got a couple of those on my camera roll as well. Because a lot of the times, and I'm realizing this now, and the people who work on the show say it's a lot of stop and go with filming. Like, all of a sudden you're ready and you got to do some filming, and then it's wait for 3 hours. And then, okay, now let's do it again. And so there's a lot of time where you're just killing time. Or, maybe you didn't get enough sleep because you have to get up at the crack of dawn the next day for filming. So honestly, like, I think every chance we get, we're all just like finding a spot that we can nap, because it's difficult, and also you don't get like a very structured schedule. You don't find out till the night before. So you don't really know how to plan your day. So sometimes you're just like, well, I don't know what to do for the next 3 hours. I guess I'll take a nap. So.
And some of those people, I looked at those pictures, I'm like, wow, they are really out. They're like, they look totally out. Not just resting their eyes, like they're out.
Out, yeah.
Tell us about we said the show's not airing tonight because of the Oscars, but they've already put out that you guys are going to be doing a show from Disney on May 2nd. How excited are you about that?
That was pretty awesome. So we already went, and we got to experience it in a very COVID-friendly manner. And then this coming, or not tonight, but this coming Sunday, we'll perform live, and we'll all do our Disney songs. I'm really nervous about this one, actually. It's probably the most nervous I've been about a performance, because I'm really trying to challenge myself to change the dynamics of the song and make it more my own. And, Disney songs are all classics, they're stuck in people's hearts, but I just really want to challenge myself not to go up there and just sing karaoke. I want to make it my own. So we'll see if people like it or not. We'll see.
That's exciting. So you guys got to spend time in the park a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. And we kind of each got our own section we got to go to. So, that way we weren't all grouped together. Because even on our own, people were recognizing us and stuff. So it tried to separate us. When I went out, they told me to braid my hair so that, people maybe wouldn't notice my long red locks as much. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. Well, so you got the weekend off. What has it been like? Like, what was the one thing you knew you had some time off? What was the one thing you said you had to go do?
Honestly, it was I have to work on my song. So I spent pretty much all yesterday working on my song for this next round, and then also preparing for the future rounds as well. Um, but then other than that, I thought, you know what? I have not drank a coffee in weeks. And I manage a coffee shop. That's what
Okay,
I
so
do.
yeah, I was going to ask you about coffee. I'm glad you brought that up. So you
I was
haven't
like,
had
"Whoa."
coffee very much since you've been
Well,
there?
it's not great for your vocal. Well, everyone has their own thing.
Oh,
But caffeine is not like ideal for your vocal cords, and especially dairy as well. So today I was like, you know what? I'm getting myself a coffee. I shouldn't even drink whole milk. I'm supposed to drink alternatives, but I was like, I'm gonna get it with whole milk. So I have deprived myself for like a month, so now I'm gonna get some coffee. So that was my on my agenda for this weekend.
wow. Okay, so what's your go-to drink since you're, a coffee person? What's your go-to treat?
Um, if it's like my first time at a coffee shop, my go-to is either like a hot or an iced Americano. And I like to add just a little bit of honey and powdered cinnamon. And I feel like it's a nice way of kind of tasting their espresso. And then if their espresso is not good, you've got the honey there to kind of mask it a little bit. So
Okay. Oh, I loved iced drinks myself, personally. I can drink those pretty much year round.
Oh,
There's a few times of the year around here, where it gets really cold, that we have those 20-degree weathers. That's really hard to do an iced drink.
yeah. But there's still those people who do. It's like snowing outside, and someone will order a frap, and I'm like, okay.
So you had your coffee. So how did that feel? Was that like a more familiar, you're like, okay, I'm feeling
Yeah,
good with that?
it was rewarding. It just kind of made me think, you know what? Like, if this is going to be my lifestyle, I need to figure out, with music and singing all the time, I need to figure out to have a balance because I don't want to be, salty or upset that I haven't had a coffee drink in a long time. So I'm like, I just got to figure out when is the right time to have it and space it out between performances and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I
Right.
would think there's a lot of coffee shops there to try. Like, I would be dying to go out and try all the coffee.
No, I know there really are, but I don't have a car, so I try to just go within walking distance to save money. But I already have got a little favorite spot, and they already recognize me and know me by name. So, because I go and instead of getting coffee, since I can't do that, I go and get a salmon bagel. So that's been like my other treat.
Okay. See, I like that too. All right. I can work with this. Tell me what it's like with the judges. Have you had any one-on-one time with them? I know they've shown a little bit of time in the beginning, but have you had any other opportunity to talk with them?
A little bit. I mean, with the security and everything and COVID, it's especially COVID really changes the dynamic of the show. But I've got to have some one-on-one. There was like one conversation I got to have with Katie off stage. We both happened to be in the same room, and she came up to me and was just encouraging me, and always is encouraging me to like let loose, not to be stoic on stage. So, and then right before my last performance, actually, I happened to, right before we go on stage, they do a little touch up of your makeup. And, it's all live, so you're moving fast.
Right.
I had my in-ears in, and that like blocks out all noise. So you can't really hear anything. But I saw someone in my peripheral. As I was walking back to the stage, like waving their hand. And I looked beside me, and Luke was standing right beside me. And he was saying like, "Good luck, good luck."
Oh,
And I couldn't really hear, but I could tell what he was saying, and I was just like, "Thanks," and then ran up on stage. So it's really nice because every time you go up on the stage, you look at them and they're just beaming and smiling because they want you to do well too. And that is so encouraging just to know these people are here not to critique me or make me feel bad, but to help me grow as an artist. So I love when they're there. It almost like helps me feel a little more grounded.
yeah. Because there's not a lot of audience, so you're basically performing for them, right?
Basically, yeah, there's just, this last live round or the last two live rounds we've had, there's, I don't know, maybe 50 people, but all very spread out. And maybe that might even be an overestimated number. But yeah, it's definitely a different feel because you don't hear, and also with your in-ears, you can't hear the crowd anyways. So it's not, I don't know, it almost kind of makes you feel like you're not actually performing in a way because it's so quiet, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, they've given you rave reviews. I feel like they have been so supportive of you, and so I mean, that has to make you feel good. Every time I feel like you perform, they're always very encouraging to you.
Yeah, they are very kind. There's a part of me that, you know, feels there's like the imposter syndrome that can set in because like prior to this, you know, I don't know, it's just very interesting to be plopped up from your original, it's like I just feel like I've been picked up from Colombia and just dropped onto the stage in the middle of LA and I've never done anything like this and it almost feels like surreal that all of a sudden, I mean it's very surreal that all of a sudden I'm getting opinions from Luke Bryan and Katy Perry and Lionel Richie. It's like, in what other case could they've ever even known I existed? And now all of a sudden they do, and they're giving me feedback. And it's like I feel like they can really see me and they can see that it's the performance aspect that's the most difficult for me. And so all the encouragement that they've given me and said, like, I think it's because they're trying to help me cut back my anxiety because they know that that is what's holding me back the most. So I feel like they've almost been too nice to me, but I know that they're doing that because they're trying to help me get out of my shell.
Yeah. So just as we wrap up here, we've got so many comments coming in. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm going to read a couple to you.
Okay.
Somebody says, my kids are so excited. You're from our area and we're cheering you on.
Yeah.
People are like, you're amazing. Good luck all the way. So I just want you to know, I think one of the reasons I want to do this, just let you know, we're all behind you here in this area. It's amazing to have someone. We've got you and Hunter from our area. So we're just so thrilled and excited to watch you guys.
Yeah, Hunter and I feel really honored to be representing Tennessee and Middle Tennessee specifically. We both are just like, it just doesn't even feel real. So we're really honored and thank you everybody who's supported us and, reached out to us or sent us messages or prayed for us. We just really, it just blows us away.
Yeah. Like we said, next show, May 2nd, Disney. That's when we'll get to vote again. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. And then from there, we'll go to the top 7.
Top 7. Oh my gosh, you're killing me. Top 7. These eliminations make my heart hurt. And so I'm biting my fingernails. I don't even do that, but I'm just like, oh. So you guys, you always put it on your social. In case you don't know, you're going to put it out there how to vote because it's really important to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like 3 different ways to vote, but you have that out there. So you guys, please vote. Keep our locals going. Top 7. Wow. All right.
We can't wait to get back. We talk about it all the time. We can't wait to get back to Tennessee and like put on a show. So we're really excited. Regardless of what happens, we both just feel blessed to have made it to this point, and now we get to, start on the grind and get music out there and start performing for our people, and then the world. So baby steps.
Well, that'll be great. You could do a show together, you and Hunter. That'll be awesome.
We 100% will. We can't wait.
Okay. Well, we have got that to look forward to no matter what happens. Yeah. Hey, thanks for joining us this afternoon. You guys, please keep watching. You've got some great stuff on socials if you guys want to follow her and check that out.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.